LLP.
Whoa! Hey everybody, today on In Production, we're looking at Lumetri versus a LUT versus a pro grade. See if you can spot the difference.
The beard.
That's today on the show. Here's an intro.
Well, the bumpy sidewalk was made by the woman that lived on the corner, and she didn't like the children's roller skating. They said it made too much noise. So she had cement sidewalks put in that bump. It's like a piece of tin. And so then, of course, the children came from all over the city to skate on the sidewalks. It was a real challenge. And you'd ride your bicycle across them, and you'd bump a scooter, and you'd bump. Everybody loved the bumpy sidewalk. And there are few pieces of it still down there.
Everybody, so we're just having a good laugh at the fact that Jeff never realized we have a new intro for the show.
Yeah, never seen it.
Never.
But whatever. And then the fun part of we have a countdown that we didn't know about.
Yeah, we didn't even know that either. Welcome to the show. As I said in the teaser, before the teaser, the pre-teaser, the prologue.
The prequel?
The prequel. Today we're talking about LUT versus Lumetri versus Jeff, basically. And,
versus beer.
We'll play a little game. I've got a bunch of different clips I've put together for you with different grades on them, variety of different stuff just for you to look at. And the reason we wanted to do this is that we had a conversation with a recent client, and he was asking, the footage was flat, and so he was asking if we would, what it would take to grade it, and we said we can just give you a LUT. And then he was really wowed by the LUT, and it got us thinking, like, sometimes if the LUT holds up good enough, then you can go with the LUT. Sometimes you're going to need a grade, and then Jeff graded one of the shots, and it looked 10 times better. And then, it just kind of opened up this conversation about when you should use those, why you should use them. Sometimes a LUT can do a better job in a pinch. So it's also coming down to money, is what we were talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
We saw somebody saying that there was a 12-second shot, and they spent 4 hours. On a personal project, I'm all about that. Me and Jeff have spent way more time than that on some of our HDR shots. But if it comes down to I'm trying to be profitable, there's times I don't want to sit there and spend 4 hours unless I'm willing to do that and conscious of it to just get a look out, when the reality of the situation is you're spending way more money, your own money and time.
Stuff out.
Yeah, I want to get more projects out the door. That's our goal, is more projects.
And not to waste other people's money.
Fair enough. I've got a sore throat, so I'm drinking La Crux and Topo Chico. Jeff is drinking...
I have a sore throat. No. Trim Tab IPA from Birmingham, Alabama. And it says smooth on the actual thing. So.
Smooth.
Yeah. It is actually kind of smooth.
Smooth.
I've had it before, so this one's not... It's an everydayer, kind of. Not really. It could be an everydayer.
I just watched Sasquatch again. That was Neil Flynn when he's like, how many people have you eaten? He's like, 1, 2, 5, too many, and a half. Sorry, Corporal. It's one of my favorite bits ever.
That is a movie I actually would go back and watch.
Yeah, I would too. Sorry, I was checking for...
Well, I have problems watching projects. I don't like to watch projects.
Yeah, you're going to have a tough time with that. I don't know if the distributor messed it up, but the grade is a little funky in spots.
Oh, I think it is. But it's also...
On the Amazon Prime version, it looks like they bumped the gamma. I'm serious.
Yeah, they probably did.
It's and you can see where, I don't know, it's pretty wild.
There's
they must have used a LUT.
Possible. I've seen some of our stuff.
There's broadcast LUTs.
I know. I've seen our stuff get changed quite a bit by other companies. Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
It leaves your hands, and then on the distribution side, that's different. I mean, even broadcasters can make changes to it sometimes.
Yep.
Some of the commercials I've been seeing lately, at the gym.
There's some that are terrible.
Whoa, that looks funky. But I know what it looked like when we sent it out, but
Yeah.
somebody else on the broadcast side will probably make some changes to it.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to show some footage. We're just going to look at some things, and we'll play a little game at the end of this episode. We won't run long today, but at the end of this episode, we'll go back over them and tell you which ones are which and talk about it.
Yeah. Again, if this is a secondary look at your pinky. You're a topo.
I'm a
you're
fancy
true
dude.
topo fancy person.
For some reason, this Topo Chico smells like sewage. Oh, maybe it's my breath.
I hope so, because I hope it's not your Topo Chico.
It could be. Maybe Topo Chico is just.
I was
They
going to
just
make
like
never
they
mind.
just carbonate like
Not
generic
even going to
water.
touch it, because I was going to make a bad joke.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Chat looks busy.
It's kind of busy.
Probably
Well,
not.
MPEG's here. That's why it's busy.
Yeah, there he goes. The biggest problem is that the LUT can
Yeah.
do more damage than good
Yeah.
if the footage wasn't shot
correctly.
correctly.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very
it could.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at this first round. This stuff's pretty funny. I'm not going to tell you what's what, but there are
I
three
don't even
distinct
know what
looks in here.
is
You
on
should
it.
be able to kind of see what they are. It's got a nice little bit of audio, and it's kind of funny, and it's about bacon.
I mean, it's going to be like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The stuff that's going to come out in a minute, you better loosen your belt straps right now. I mean, not Matt Lauer style. I'm just talking loosen your belt buckle. I'm not meaning, we're not going that far. So I can make a batch granted, I've got to follow the same processes, but I'm going to make a batch that I'm very happy and very comfortable saying it belongs to you. I mean, heck, I'd put your name on the outside of the smoker if you want me to. And then break out the adult bacon. It's Billy time. Adult bacon, that's what it is. It's not playing around bacon. It's not. It's not a buffet bacon. I mean, it's a center of the plate, premium protein that deserves the respect that a filet gets.
There you go. One of the things we were laughing at is my proclivity to not do audio. I thought my phone was on silent.
Yep.
Let's just go ahead and do that right now.
Yeah, because right now there's 16 people watching, so it's only 16 beers you owe.
It's only 16. Thank God no one cares about this show anymore.
No!
Yeah, so I was going to say, yesterday on set we were filming some interview footage, and the producer's phone like blatantly rang in the middle of one of the best answers we had gotten, and so we tried to encourage him to give us beers. It happens from time to time, so sorry about that. So yeah, so we went through and set you with, there's three looks there, obviously. One of those is Jeff's grade, one of those is Drew and Lumetri, and one of those is a CRFTSHO LUT, because the one thing that we won't do is we'll trash LUTs if they're ours. We're not going to trash somebody else's work. So
Yeah.
we did use, all the LUTs we're using today are the CRFTSHO LUTs. This isn't a commercial for that stuff either. I'm not even going to bother plugging it beyond that, but we did use our own LUTs, and we'll see what happens in that space.
Yep.
Yeah. You have any thoughts? You want to talk about grading? We were talking about time earlier. You got any thoughts on that side of things?
Yeah, and from a color standpoint, from a colorist wise, and Penner's not here right now, but it's time is money.
Yeah.
So I learned, because not the first feature I did outside of here, I had no timeline, technically, that I knew of.
Yeah.
There was a timeline. I just wasn't told what the timeline was.
Sure.
And I got way behind way fast. And so it took 2 days of like hardcore 2 people grading to help
To make it
push it up. Yeah.
That's one of the things that I think a
Time-wise.
lot of people don't think about is like the back end timeline.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if it's your own project or you kind of control that timeline or you control the budget on the back end, but for me, we don't control the budget beyond, I mean, we control the budget, but we also have to be conscious of how many other projects are in the queue. And so sometimes we've had clients get, bonus color grade time because we felt like putting more into it. And there's been other times when we just did what we knew was going to look really good very quickly and using experience to our measure. And that's part of it. There's been other times that we've delivered LUTs.
Yeah. And there's
I would like to point out.
We have delivered LUTs, definitely.
That trophy back there in which we won an Addy was made with LUTs. Now, they were custom, but still.
Yeah, I know, it's shot for shot LUTs. Yeah. Same thing.
But we still use LUTs.
Basically. But I mean, there are certain things you can't do with a LUT that you can do.
Right.
Like I can't track anything.
Right.
The track information doesn't go. That would really screw up a lot for footage it wasn't made for.
Yeah.
If you had tracking down.
That'd be amazing.
It would be amazing to show that LUTs are not a fix for everything.
Well, they're not. We actually will have that. It's funny you bring that up because obviously we mixed a lot of footage on the show, but we wanted to make sure that we mixed in a variety of how it was acquired as well. So this next little set...
We're slow playback.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
This next little set is... that's really weird.
That is
we have
weird.
Good stream.
Yeah, VFX side, I'm not sure. You might be the only one. Yeah, Impact says it sounds fine to him. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, Todd. Maybe it's California. They don't like craft show.
Could be.
California. So the next thing would be bringing up using a LUT. Again, it's a craft show LUT, which that means it's a GH5 LUT, but we're going to use it on a different camera format here. So this is a different camera format. 3 different looks for you to look at. Try and figure out which one's a LUT, which one is Lumetri, and which one is Jeff's ProGrade. Totally different vibe to it. Here you go. There you go. So you had 3 different looks there again. That is red footage. And so you have a red camera now, and we're using a LUT on the red footage. I took it to log, just as Jeff would have in the grade process. I took it to log, I took it into Lumetri, and then Jeff did a grade on it. Kind of sorting out what they are. You can kind of see there's 3 different vibes to it. There's pros and cons to both. One of them is very neutralized, which I think looks fantastic.
Me too.
Maybe as a baseline. Yeah. If I just needed to get something out and put a little color pop in it, I could have probably bumped the saturation up a little bit, but just for what it was. Like again, the goal was to normalize and let the colorist do the magic on that.
And then there's certain times where the attitude or atmosphere of the feeling that's supposed to be taking place changes the way that things should be done. 100%.
And that's one of the biggest things is I think a LUT fixes you to a very certain look. You can always use it as a starting point, but it fixes you to a certain look, and then you look at something like Lumetri, which for me I can get a baseline sort of evened piece, but I'm going to spend way too much time trying to get it to work the way I want it to or look the way I want it to inside of Lumetri when I can just go to a colorist if it's a paid job. Again, if it's my own stuff, I'm either learning Davinci at that time or I'm dealing with it on a time doesn't really matter. It's a hobby type scenario. The other side of this that we found very interesting, and part of the reason why we were also doing this test, is we were trying to replicate some of the weird skinny tone stuff that people have complained about again. Seeing that come back around full circle about that Vlog is putting in this weird sort of skin banding, that greeny looking stuff. I've had a really tough time getting that to work, and I think it's because I exposed properly. I remember seeing it a couple times on some shots that were underexposed, and I had to push them. But it was immediately remedied when, at the same time I pushed it, we ran neat on it. And so we saw a big difference.
Which will work for some of it,
Yeah, in some cases it'll do really well. So part of it is just considering where it is. I mean, every camera has a plus and a minus. There's things about the red that we've said it before, like even on a grading side, I don't like. However, the IPP2, that's a whole different beast. Like we're able to save some data that like
you definitely can.
It's crazy the amount of stuff we've been able to pull back in. So speaking of looking at the noise correction side of things, let's take a look at this next set. You've seen the shot before. We love this shot. We think it's quite gorgeous, but I wanted to, again, this is kind of a nice mix of using a lot of tools. This is a shot that is underexposed. You'll probably figure out which one's which fairly quickly in this, but just in case, you're on a 1080p live stream, so who knows. But here is some of that. right, and so then you have like a 3 stack there. Again, 3 different looks, 3 different techniques. You can get 3 different vibes out of the shot. They all 3 look different. One, to me, looks outstanding. The other 2 look okay. And you can kind of figure it out from there, what we're doing inside of that in terms of it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have Davinci. I would always encourage someone to either learn Davinci. You can get it for free still, right? Isn't it still free?
Yeah, for the most part, it's free.
Yeah, I mean, you might not be able to do 4K DCI.
I don't think you can, if I remember right, it's outputting 4K DCI. It used to be noise reduction, but I think their internal noise reduction now works in the free
but I'd be
version.
using Neat anyway.
Yeah.
I don't like their internal noise
It's
reduction.
got a few different things.
Yeah. So you can kind of jump in and you utilize the free
no
one
HDR.
to teach yourself that. Yeah, no HDR is part of the... But you can kind of teach yourself that and get your hands on some of that... get your hands on a bigger program that allows you to learn more. I wouldn't do it for a paid client. I would probably just do what I got to do, whether it's a LUT and lots of stacking Lumetris on top of each other. We've talked about that before. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you put your LUT on the bottom layer, stack another Lumetri on top of it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you make your adjustments to brightness and some other things. So like you baseline it with the LUT, and then you do the grade before the LUT, basically.
Yeah.
And it ends up looking way better. It gives you a lot more control at the end of the day, too, which I thought was pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nice way to go about it. That's kind of the approach that we're looking like on this stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on in the chat ski.
Not a whole lot. I mean, we're talking about beta.
Yeah.
Davinci beta right now.
There we go.
Because David Scott up here earlier was asking if you could grade as detailed, basically, as you can in Davinci with Premiere.
I don't think you can.
No, you can't. And Trev picked up on that and answered all that stuff before I ever got to it.
Okay, good.
So,
yeah, it's one of the things. I think there's limitations in the programs as well. I mean, look, you can use a LUT inside Davinci. I'm not saying that we exported all of these from Lumetri, by the way. Like, or I mean, from Premiere, by the way. You can still take a LUT and use it inside of Davinci, and some people do that as well as a baseline.
You can. And then there's other types of LUTs too, like transform LUTs and stuff like that.
That's a whole separate issue, though. Those get into really technical.
Yeah, that's getting into the technical side of stuff. Joe Mama Inc. here said he uses LUTs because no idea how to color grade properly. You know, and that's
totally fine.
That's the way a lot of people use them, honestly.
Yeah, that's totally fine. The issue is, think of it like, sometimes a LUT's like stock footage to me, is that I've seen a lot of footage come out and it all kind of looks the same. There's no character to it. There's no uniqueness. So my thing is, if you do use a LUT, I would argue try and figure out a way to make it your own. Because the shot is one thing, right? But the look of it, if I'm looking at it, and I'm not really much a pixel peeper as much, but I'm looking at it from a composition standpoint, if it all starts to look the same, then I've kind of lost my attention.
Yeah.
It's lost my attention.
And then there's, certain styles work great for different types of things. I mean, Blade Runner is a great example. Right. And it's an over-the-top example of it. But, different colors for different settings for different moods.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other great...
We've talked about it before, though. We did that kind of experiment in a movie where we had not just the camera doing something different. Like, the camera went from handheld to Steadicam or stabilized.
Yeah.
Of some sort.
And it's the same thing as doing
handhelds
and stuff like that. Yeah.
We introduced that green sort of magenta play versus... that of a more baseline, bright, slightly neutralized sort of vibe to it. So I think that's one of the things to consider with your LUT is don't get stuck in it. That's the big thing about using a LUT. It's also the same thing about, look, at the end of the day, I run a business, and if you run a business, time is what you are making your money off of. It's not necessarily the quality of the video matters, but in some cases, most people are on this. So if it looks good on your cell phone or something like that, then you're in much better shape than you are if you're just trying to make something perfect. No, consider your output of it. If it's a web video, get it good enough to look good on your cell phone and be done with it. If it's going to be projected into a theater, I'm not saying don't give the quality of work that you should, but like if you have in your mind budgeted 5 hours for color correction to do a 30-second spot, then make sure you're under that 5 hours so you're profitable.
Exactly. And
that's called expertise.
That's because when I first started doing actual color, I was pretty slow. Yeah. I've gotten to where I'm super fast now. I don't always have to be super fast, which is nice.
Yeah.
with some of our stuff, but I do always make it profitable still.
Yeah, and the other side of it too is if someone's paying you to learn this stuff, then take the money and get paid, or get them happy, give them what they want that's happy, and now that you've already dealt with the footage, go back to it again and download the free Davinci, or play in Lumetri some more, or get some more LUTs or free LUTs, and find the stuff that works for you. Just experiment, I think, is the big key, versus just jumping in and being like, yeah, this is it, this is perfect. There is nothing is perfect. It's false.
No.
It's very true.
There's zero perfect in any of this stuff, so just consider that when you do it. I'm going to change the audio to match what we want here. There we go. All right, so let's take a look at this first one. This is the guy talking about bacon. I'm gonna, hopefully it'll work where the audio still plays and not his. We'll find out here in a second. But this first one, let's see. Hey, it's just us. Yeah, it's working. Okay, cool. So this first is actually a LUT. This is the CRFTSHO LUT. It's a little bit pink. Yeah, it's the Daylight Shade. Okay. Daylight Shade LUT. This was shot on GH5 using V-Log-L. Daylight Shade LUT. I don't know if this was on an S or not. I don't think it was. We didn't have an S then, did we?
I don't know. I don't think we did have an S.
So this next piece, this one is me doing Lumetri. This is just me just equalizing the footage. That's all I did is I went through and just did a really basic level kind of equalizing of it and just let it be what it is. I didn't really monkey with the saturation. And then you get to Jeff where all of a sudden he pops and he stands off the screen. Now this one is a very obvious look at what the colorist can do piece. And there's other little notes. There's vignettes on this one. There's a whole lot of content happening. And if you go from this shot and you look at the pink one that will come up next here, you can just see a huge difference in skin tone. That's pretty dramatic. I mean, that when you put them back to back, it looks like ass. Yeah. But I see a lot of footage that looks like this that's considered to be good. And, you know, whether they're using our LUT or somebody else's, they consider it to be an awesome piece. Now, granted, as I've said, this is our own LUT, so we're trashing our own LUT here. It did not work very well in this circumstance. It was actually not good for this situation whatsoever.
No,
he's exposed properly because you can see we brought him back here.
It's exposed, and I mean, honestly,
there's no noise correction, but our LUT here is a piece of garbage. It's a sack of assholes. No! Don't use our LUT for Billy's bacon. Right?
There we go. Billy will be proud of that. It was handcrafted for him.
It's handcrafted. That's exactly it. He cracks me up, though, man. He's a funny dude. Let's look at...
He's a passionate dude.
He's a very passionate dude. Let me load this other piece here. Let me turn off the audio there. And then I got to do this and do this and do this. And
I'll just go ahead and respond to Trev while you're doing that. Mine does too, Trev.
What was the question?
No, he said whenever he turns on Aces, every fan in his computer comes on. That's
It's like an airplane taking off.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're due for an upgrade on Aces at some point.
Yeah.
We're following that world. So let's look at this red footage and go over those. I actually have to look at my notes because I don't remember which one's
Yeah, I could tell you which one's which.
Could you?
I could.
Yeah. All right, so this first one, this is Lumetri. This is actually Lumetri. You can see a green tone in it. This is from Red Log. That is the CRFTSHO LUT. So we're using a CRFTSHO LUT on red footage. It's pretty balanced. And then you go into Jeff's that is a little more pink. You can see a skin tone shift. So let's let
it's a major shift.
So here it is. That is red, run through Lumetri from log to that. This next beat here, that is using the CRFTSHO LUT. That's one of our LUTs. I think it holds pretty good for a baseline. And then you get to Jeff's, it's a little more magenta, and there's a reason that we did all this for part of the context of the spot itself. Again, you can see 3 different looks generated. They all 3, I would argue, have a different mood to them as well.
Exactly. That's why I brought it up there. Yeah. You know, I already knew the order that we were doing it in.
Right.
But, you know, there's a reason because I like to neutralize the LUT look more.
I do too.
And that's probably where I would start off of if I was doing just the shot by itself.
Oh, absolutely.
Something close to that.
Absolutely.
But the other shot mixes in with the shots before it and doesn't mix really with what's after it. But that's what's on purpose.
That's on purpose. So that particular spot has it's for a water park. And so it transitions from the past to the present. And the present, we wanted to make sure it was very different saturation palette and it felt different. There's more mood. And so we wanted to make that feel a little more drab, a little more like life, kind of just a little bit boring, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
without it being
it's
flat.
a little flashbacky, depressing, boring look to it.
Yeah, without being depressing.
And then it goes straight to bright sunshine, bright blues,
Yeah,
bright high saturation. Yeah.
And it gets out of control.
Yeah.
Even their logo is out of control.
No!
I can't stand that thing. It's way out of control.
Yeah, Trev, that was the other thing with that one too, is the IPP2 came in handy on that. That's actually the first thing that we ever used IPP2 on.
Yeah, that was one of those shows where a spot where we didn't have a big grip crew.
We didn't, so there was a little bit of having to eat the outside.
Yep.
So it was talking about using the IPP2 while we were on set doing it.
But I would argue you could take that LUT, bump up the contrast a little more, and boom, guess what? You just used a, whatever it comes out to. They're $9.99 for 4 LUTs. You just used a $2.50 LUT, $2.49 LUT to give you a fairly decent look that for most part, you could add a little flash to it, a little saturation to it, and be done with it and make something really nice looking. And so that one's interesting to me because that's red log footage with a LUT dropped on it, and it looked pretty great. And that doesn't necessarily, and it was a LUT built initially for the GH5, so it goes to say that's the thing about LUTs. My point is to not scramble your brain, but disrupt it enough to say just don't focus on one thing, because it's always a sleight of hand when it comes down to what you're trying to create. You have to think about the content, what the mood is, where you're going to go with it. So if you're just looking at those shots, let's look at them one more time because I think it's kind of a fascinating point. If you're just looking at these shots, this first one is garbage. I would be pissed if I saw that footage. The second one, I would be like, all right, cool. You didn't spend a lot of time on it, but it looks pretty good to me. I'd like more saturation. And this third one, I'd be like, okay, I see there's a skin tone shift. There's a little more saturation. What are you doing with it? Why does it look so magenta? And that's one of those things about bias. You know, Jeff has a little more magenta bias than mine, and we both see things.
It's actually switched.
Yeah, you used to be green bias.
I used to be very green yellow.
Yeah, used to be, and you kind of. It's probably because I beat it into your head.
My traditional style now has changed, and not just with you, just for when I do the political commercials that I do outside of this whole community that now everybody knows about.
Yeah,
it's very much more into that magenta, neutral, slightly magenta. Color space.
Right, and that's it. And that's the big thing that we're always saying is we constantly look at it. So let's look at this last example here. You should know. Oh, let me set it up right. You should probably. Oop, I have to set the buttons. Got to change some things around on this bad boy. Here we go. There we go. This one's pretty easy to figure out. This first one is pure Davinci. There's a lot of hours on this shot. Not a lot of hours, but there's a good bit of time on the shot because there's noise correction. There's, I don't even know how many vignettes. There's tracking. There's a whole slew of Davinci tools to really make this shot, which ended up in our reel, look fantastic. This is shot on the GH5. S? I don't even know. Do you remember if this is S or GH5? I think this is GH5.
That one is GH5.
Yeah.
That is straight GH5.
Because you had the S with the other shot.
Yeah, I had the S on the
So this is just straight GH5, so you'll see here. So there you go. Straight GH5, lots of time from Davinci. That is using a LUT. You can see how dark it gets, and that's me just doing a grade and pushing the colors a little bit more, see what I can do. Again, it goes from Davinci to LUT to Lumetri, sort of vibe from it. And you can kind of see a mix of colors there. 3 different looks. All of them have 3 different moods. The Drew one is probably the worst, and I get it. I've never claimed to be a colorist. That's why I have Jeffrey. But I see a lot of footage coming out of Lumetri that equally looks that bad. So that's a prime example of when you want it to, you know, you're really trying to make it look like a rock star. That's one way to do it. Very simply and efficiently is pay attention. There, a LUT was not going to help you whatsoever. You're going to have to spend some time on that shot. So that's one of the reasons where either you're eating the time, or you've committed the time to fix that shot, or you're sending it off to a colorist and have them do something. Because even then, a colorist could build you a LUT. Maybe it won't have tracking or power windows, but the colorist could build you a LUT that would at least benefit the quality of work you were trying to achieve.
Yeah. That's fun footage to grade.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
That type of stuff is where it gets fun to do.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah.
Anything in the chat skis?
No, well, one from Ari. He said that, not that one. It's ARI.
No.
But he was wondering why the grades look so odd, then noticed his MacBook Pro's display had night shift on. I can actually tell you I've had producers do that to me and then complain about color grades before for being overall too red. And also, the first time I had that was a producer looking at a reel from a feature on his phone with Night Shift.
Right.
So it wasn't just his computer. He just that was the day that I started checking everything with this little thing.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that it looked good on a phone.
I actually think one of the best outputting testing devices, like an iPad Mini or Pro.
It is.
An iPad Pro is really good with the Retina display, just because then you're kind of seeing it. You know, you can pull it up on YouTube, you can pull it up from wherever you're going to deliver, Dropbox, whatever it might be, and then you can kind of view it in how an end user would view it. I think that's an important quotient in all of this.
Especially when you're doing feature stuff, because I mean, it's like Feature World, you're sitting there and you're grading strictly for a certain display, and you're going for theatrical, usually, theatrical projection, and then some people will do that, and then they will have conversion LUTs that other people use to make it to broadcast and stuff like that. That's not for however the theater's set up, and then it goes to this, and then it looks like poop.
Yeah.
So I always check everything on multiple sources.
Yeah.
We even used to have those. We don't have any here anymore, I don't think. Those really, really crappy Insignia TVs that were terrible.
But if it looked decent on that,
shifted really bad. Yeah, but still, use it to check.
We would grade it onto the Flanders and cross-check it, and then we take that. Now, we don't use those anymore because most people's TV technology has gotten considerably better. I was just watching I saw it. It clickbaited me in because it was that TLC TV.
Oh, TCLs.
TCL.
Yep. Target sells them.
Yeah. And that's why I was
looking.
looking.
They have great reviews, too.
They do.
Actually, they have
and
really
so
great reviews.
I was Linus Tech Tips or whatever that guy's name is. I don't know I don't follow him, but he had a post on it, and it was about that TV, and I clicked on it. Well, that's crazy. That's a $500 TV now.
Yep.
The average consumer is going to have a decent television.
Exactly. And the top level TCL, I'm not trying to sell TCLs, but I found out their top level is supposedly going to be Dolby Vision.
Yeah.
So you'll have Dolby Vision and HDR10 both built into it.
It's not perfect.
Which, I mean...
But, you know, if you can't afford a...
No, it's not going to be a perfect
super
TV.
high-end one, or if it's not something you're super... Like, I just canceled my Netflix 4K HDR subscription because, like, I don't give a shit. There's nothing cool enough for me on Netflix to warrant me sitting there watching
Daredevil. At least that's what I've been told. I've never even watched Daredevil. So
Chef's Table, but...
Yeah, I can see that one.
Chef's Table's it, and I'll turn it back on for a month, and then I'll cancel it again. I mean, like, I just don't... There's no value in the HDR content they're presenting because it feels like it's not thought about for HDR. That's just a personal thing, but...
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to screenshot this from MPEG.
Yeah.
Thanks, MPEG. I'm going to make this a screen cover for Drew.
Uh-oh.
Says Jeff is really good at what he does. You should pay him more.
Nope.
No, I'm just going to take every client from now on, whenever we go to a meeting, I'm just going to make it the screen in the back and just slightly be like, here you go.
Just make a sticker and put it on here.
That's what it should do.
You know, I foolishly have all these stupid stickers on my laptop. I went to a meeting yesterday, a pretty high-level meeting.
Yeah.
And I bust out my laptop to take notes, and I'm at the end. I'm sitting at the head of the table, and all eyes, I can feel them. They're listening to me talk, and I break out my laptop, and I set it down, and I unfold it, and they see the stickers, and I watch their eyes just kind of look down, like as if I, you know.
I know.
So I laid the screen flat, so I quite literally had the screen like this. And it was obvious, but, like, you know, whatever. I mean, that's the reality of it. I put stickers on my laptop. It started with my kids, and then after that, it just got out of control.
And I was one of those that jumped on the whole hipster bandwagon thing with the stickers myself.
Is that a hipster thing?
It kind of is.
Is it really?
Yeah, I started when I was in Olympia.
Oh.
That's where I started.
But it was like pot leaf stickers.
I was at those non-commercial branded Star coffee shops, and all those cool people had stickers, and that's where it started. Because they had a lot of stickers there, and I collect stickers anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, the last few months, I have actually been thinking about that from a business move for us. If it's all, I mean, like the gear cases and stuff like that, I'm cool with. But it's the pitch meetings where you go in, and you're nicely dressed, and then
Well, maybe I'll get a cover.
Yeah,
depending on the meeting.
There you go.
Like if I'm
depending
like,
on who it is.
I want them to know I'm a little bit rock and roll.
Yeah.
And then whatever. It's the reality of the situation.
It is. But yeah, well, most of the beer that we drink, at least, most people don't know.
I think it's the post-apocalyptic sticker that's probably the problem.
Yeah, the Paradise Lost.
Yeah. It's a little violent looking. Now
Can't be, but it's a very cool sticker.
I love it.
Well, not even a sticker.
No, it's a beer can label.
Yeah.
There's several beer can labels.
Yeah, there's a few labels on there.
Oh well. All right, well, it's a short episode today because we have lots of work to do. That's kind of what we wanted to talk about. If you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to email me and Jeff, Drew at Craft Show, Jeff at Craft Show. We try and answer them. If we've missed one, I'm so sorry. Sometimes we get backlogged, not with just Craft Show emails, but like business emails. And
we get kind of backlogged sometimes pretty heavily.
Mistakes. Yeah.
We do.
So, yes, we would love to hear from you if you have questions or you have thoughts. I'll keep the chat ski open. Again, keeping it short, keeping it focused, trying to...
For the last time, no.
Do that kind of stuff. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you're having a great day. Yeah. Looking forward to Craft Show Fest. I have this idea. I'm going to make
cool.
Craft Show Fest.
Could it
Craft Show.
There
Craft Fest. What if we just have a festival called Fest?
You know what? It'd probably be one of the weirdly probably one of the coolest fests.
Yeah, just FST. Fest.
There you go. Forget the E.
Yeah, just Fest.
We're too hip for the E.
Yeah, just like we don't like E's.
That sounds mildly grammar racist.
Grammar racist. But yeah, maybe we make a thing where we just get a bunch of people in a room and you have a scramble. How crazy would that be? If you got all the Craft Show people that are fans, and then you take Craft Show crew people that are here to interface with them and just let them all just run loose, I think that'd be super fun.
That would be really cool.
With beer.
Oh yeah, have to be with beer.
Yeah, there's lots of beer involved.
I actually just saw recently, I think it was one of the Davinci groups on Facebook that Hong Kong, I think it was, had a 24-hour scramble that it was Davinci, I think, helped sponsor it because it was a whole room of like post-production was in one room for like 60 different teams.
Whoa.
That was kind of cool.
That's really fun.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool
idea.
I
think it'd be awesome. You just have a bunch of camera nerds sitting around talking about camera nerd stuff without being sold to. I mean, eventually you would sell out and have people get sold to so that you can make money to pay for it. But I think it would be like stupid fun, especially if you could get like everybody brought beer from their area. Think how cool that would be.
That actually would be really cool.
Everybody bought it. And if you don't drink beer, then bring coffee. So bring a roaster.
Because that would work too.
It works both ways. So you have coffee in the morning, beer in the afternoon. Everybody wins. You sit down. You talk about stuff. You learn stuff. You all just jam on stuff. And it's not a sales pitch. You just hang out. I think it'd be a blast.
Or you could just drink coffee at night too until you get too up. Then you drink beer to go back down.
That's it.
Then coffee back up.
So if we do this right, we make it a professional organization that we can all join so that then we can be like, well, honey, we have to go to this. So you can tell your wife and kids, you bring them. We put it near something that they can go do, like a thing. We all just hang out under the auspices of learning, and we make it really boring. The trailers for it, just like super boring. You show that to your significant other, your partner, whatever it might be.
They won't be wanting to go.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, why do you want to spend money on this? Because I need to learn some stuff. And the reality is we just get plowed and create some amazing content. And, you might vanish for 3 days, and then you see your family at the end of it. I think that sounds amazing.
And then you crash, and then your family doesn't have
Does that sound like I'm desperate to get away from my family? Because it's not meant to. Sarah, if you're watching this.
Yeah, my Sarah, don't listen to what I'm going to say. It sounds amazing.
It really does. I would love it. I would love to sit around and play with gear and bullshit.
The only downfall with my wife and your wife is the fact that they would want to get plowed with us. I don't think they'd give a crap about the other part of it.
Yeah, they just leave my kids somewhere. Yeah. Just turn them loose.
But then we could just drink a whole bunch. Yeah, that's MPEG. That's the first spot that I thought of, actually.
Where?
North Carolina spot.
Oh, yeah.
Over in Raleigh.
Asheville
Asheville
area would be pretty rad, too, though, because there's so much there you can go do.
Oh, there is, but see, then you get close enough, then you gotta go to D.C. so you can get those beers, and then we're only a hop,
You're talking about the beer. I'm actually talking about the educational process.
Oh, there's lots of educational stuff there.
Look, there's people that do like great travel films, and I want to learn how to do that better. So then you take them, and you're in Asheville, you do a travel film. There's a film community there, so you can actually rent some gear and have somebody talk about film. You could have somebody talk about color grading. You could literally have breakout sessions.
You could.
NAB does that, but it's nowhere near as cool because it's all forced. This would be much more organic and raw.
Yeah.
I don't know how to organize it. If somebody wants to do it, I will gladly put my name all over it. That's worth nothing.
No.
Yeah. I'll put my name on it.
Who wants to do Fest? Put something in the comments if you want to come to Fest.
DC, we could do it still.
Yeah, and you'll get a discount.
But
so this is what we do.
We probably won't shoot anything.
I got it. So what we do is we sell it. I like how the numbers are dropping. I'm watching how people are like banishing and flies.
No, but we're getting more here.
The initial ticket price, I don't know, I'm making up a number. The initial ticket price is $150 or something. But if you bring beer from your area, you get a discount. So if you bring beer, then you get your $50 back. Because you just add $50 to where the price of the ticket is, then everybody's encouraged to bring beer.
Yeah.
Unless you bring $50 beer, and good for you. I can't help you there.
Hey, Joe Mama, you are in Atlanta.
No, we were just up there, Joe Mama.
Yes. You should...
We're coming back,
Yeah, you should hit me up at jeff@craftshow.com.
Yeah, we're coming back up.
We're coming back up.
On the 29th.
Yeah. End of this month.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be there Thursday. We'll have some prime lenses again. Ambassador Anamorphics.
And MPEG, I will be in North Carolina at some point. My wife is hounding me for it, so at some point I've got to go up there in the next few months.
And you ride by Pinner,
wherever that is. Yeah, I actually next time I go up there, I kind of want to go see Pinner.
Yeah, me too.
I want to go check that place out.
All right, this time for real.
I can scout out for Fest.
Yeah, scout for Fest. I'm serious.
Yeah.
It starts in a dingy hotel room, and then in 10 years, it's going to be bigger than Comic-Con. Think about that, people. Have a little dream.
Dingy hotel room. Like, how dingy are we talking?
I'm talking about Dump City, USA.
Okay, so we're talking like Motel 6.
Oh, less.
Motel 4?
A Motel 6 that lost its Motel 6 license.
What about a Motel 6 like what Jimmy Lumpkin was in? Because nobody here's going to understand that.
Yeah.
But...
That's fine, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty far.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do it in...
Father Tone Change in. He said the Tone Change will put him up.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
And
we'll make Tone Change come speak. He's a good speaker.
Oh, he'll have to.
Yeah.
A Motel 3, there we go.
A Motel 3, it's half the price of
What about a Hojo? Because they're no longer around. So
yeah, they are.
There's one or two.
No, Hojos are up north.
Is it?
Yeah, do you guys still have Hojos? This is a stupid episode. Do you have Hojos?
I know, this is gone way off the rails now.
Typical craft show.
No, I thought
you should stop watching now if you don't care about Hojos.
I really thought that it got away. But we used to have a great dingy one here.
I stayed in that. Yeah.
Well, I shot something with horse in there one time, and that was scary as crap. Not really scary because it was the middle of the day.
Well, we also shot Underground's Pizza there.
Terrible. Yeah? Did you shoot that there?
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, launching careers.
What if we do what we did for Jim?
What?
We're going back to, like, thesis stuff. In the sewer tunnels.
In the sewer tunnels?
That was actually some fun stuff.
I'm just saying, Fest is a real thing.
Yeah, we're getting away from it. Fest.
We're gonna make it happen. I got a plan. I don't know.
Thank you, Trev. They don't have Hojos. I don't know where Trev's at. He's up north. I think it's
he's
in
in
New York
Boston or something. Aren't you in Boston, Trev?
Oh, he's a Mass, I think. I think you're right. No? Okay, still have him in Philly.
Philly. Close enough. It's all the same.
That's color Philly.
Once you get past North Carolina, all of the rest of the country is one big city. It's just one. I'm sure he appreciates that. And all your sports teams are the same.
I was going to say...
all your sports ball teams.
That Midwest section, though, is also a little different.
No!
All right, this time for real. I'm killing the streams. Ray,
Boston and New York are the same thing?
Oh, yeah, the Boston Red Braves and the Chicago Yankees, they're all like...
The Chicago Yankees.
They're all in the... I thought you were in Boston.
Virginia boy. That's my territory, too.
Yeah, it's all right, Virginia. You're a Yankee up there. You have peanuts.
Oh, you're still not a Yankee in Virginia.
Thanks for watching, folks. If you're still watching this right now, I salute you with all of my heart. We're going to keep the chat.